Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the add-on Recount. Recount is an add-on that can be used to keep track of many aspects of an encounter in WoW. It's most commonly used as a performance tracker so that people can get a rough idea of how they have performed during an encounter. Recount can keep track of many things, including damage done, DPS, healing done, dispels, interrupts, and deaths. If Recount is not showing on your screen, there's a command you can type to make it appear. This command is recount show with a slash, so recount show, and my recount will appear. However, if your recount doesn't appear after typing this, then there's another command you can use. This is called recount reset pos. So just recount and then reset pos, and it will appear right in the middle of your screen. From here you can just drag it and move it anywhere you like. So I like mine down here, but other people like theirs in the middle, other people might prefer theirs over here or maybe up here. It just depends on how it fits in with your UI really. You can easily switch between what's being displayed when you're showing or looking at what's on the recount. You just right click here and you can just select one. So healing done, or you can maybe switch it to just show the DPS instead of actual damage done. You can also cycle through them all by pressing these two arrows here. So it's quite a nice feature to have. If you left click on a character name, you can then view a detail window which shows a pie chart of all the spells you cast during the encounter, along with the numerical percentage here. If you click on a spell, you can see additional details for crits, multi-strikes for each of these spells. So Cobra Shot, I've done 3 spells, or I cast it 3 times, and one was a multi-strike hit, one was a hit normal, and one was a crit. Arcane Shot, one of them was a critical hit, one was a normal hit. If I double click it again, I can go back to hovering, because clicking on it makes it so that it sticks on here. So if you're having a look down here a bit more, you can do it without accidentally changing the spell as you're switching from the top to the bottom. Also, if you click on the magnifying glass, you can also view a summary report which shows the amount of damage done and taken and healing done and taken for that character. So it shows my hunter's total DPS and damage done here. It shows what my pet's done, and it shows any healing that was done at the same time as well. So it's quite good for just having a brief overview of what your character's doing. I'll just close this. If you go into the recount options, there are 4 tabs which you can look through and change things around. These are data, window, appearance, and color. Data is generally things to do with the recording of data. Most of the default options are fine. I mainly just make sure that pets are merged with owners. If they're not, I'll have like a separate bar here which will show my pet, but I prefer it to just include it all in the one. You can merge absorbs with heals as well, so any absorbs that a disc priest or a paladin or maybe a DK will do, they'll come under healing done, so you don't have to check that beside absorbs done. So it's just a matter of convenience to what you or preference. This here in the middle bit basically just lets you choose when you want recount to be working, so you might not want it to be working in arenas or battlegrounds, so you can just switch it off there. you can hide it when it's not doing anything. And this one here is just when you can auto delete things or when it's gonna work. Generally just leave that bit alone. I don't really have any need to change it. The window tab is quite straightforward. You can hide these buttons here by unchecking them, recheck them to make them appear again. You can show a total bar, so the total amount of damage done by everyone will be displayed up there. And you can also auto hide on combat, pretty self-explanatory. And you can change the scaling of the windows, the row height, the row spacing, which you can do over here. You can add these graphs that will appear, so you can add them for like raid, HPS, the frames per second, or the raid DPS. And it just shows the graphic, what this is in a graph more or less. You can also have for bandwidth, up traffic, down traffic, latency, and total healing per second and total damage per second. So it's quite nice if you like it. The appearance window is mainly where you just change the bar style of the recount thing. So basically everything in your bars here are changed here. So you can hide or show the rank number, server name. That only really applies if you're raiding with people from other realms. I generally hide it because it takes up quite a bit of space. You can change the per second thing here and the percentage thing. Just add or remove them. So you can have the number format depending on what you prefer. I have it in standard usually, but you can have it in the short format. That means you can have an even smaller window. You can have commas or standard. And lastly, you can always swap the text in the bar color, so the writing and the bar behind it, they switch. It's entirely up to you, however you want your bars displayed. You can change these, so the font changes, and you can change it so the style of the bar changes. A lot of these have come with other add-ons, so you may or may not have the same options that I do. Finally, we have the color tab. This is automatically set to have the bars displayed as the default Blizzard class color. So the hunter is the green color, the mage is the nice blue color, and Death Knight's red, the druid's orange. But if I wanted to have customized colors, I just click here and just drag it down a bit. For example, I could increase or decrease the opacity, so I can make it slightly more see-through, or I can make it like orange or blue or any other color on the wheel, and I can just press OK and it changes. Or if I decide I've made loads of changes and I don't like them, I can just reset them and they'll go back to the default colors. You can also change the bit here, this title bar, so just the same concept. Move the color around the wheel, change the opacity, how light, how dark you want it. Very straightforward. And you can easily find ways, colors, combinations that go well with your UI. Again, if you want it back to default, just press reset, it will go back, no problem, right away. The final feature of Recount which I'm going to show is this report feature. This is accessed by clicking on this microphone down here, and then you see this report data window appear. This allows you to tell people how Recount has recorded the data in this window. So you can do this by just, and say, you can just report it and it will come up around there. You can also do it for, you can whisper someone, so I'll just whisper myself and click report and it appears there as well. You can even whisper targets, so if someone in the raid wanted to know how they performed, you can just target them and whisper them and tell them. So it's quite good for things like that. Lastly, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care, bye bye.